can we have a reading of the minutes?
And I make a motion we dispense.
Okay, Gary makes a motion to suspend. Is there a second? Carol, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Correspondence.
All right, email request from Citrus United Working Organizing Table for presentation on April 15. USW District 10 Ticket Lawrence Park, LJ McGill Summer Labor Institute, D10 Rapid Response Coordinated Training, Philippines Workers Memorial Day, Labor Law and Labor Art Conference, District 10 Civil Rights Seminar, and then Athletics Machine
And I make a motion we dispense.
All right, Gary. All right. How about a financial secretary report? And Chris Vadson, that's the reading.
Financial report?
Yeah.
Cash on hand at the beginning of the month, was 144,691.32 cents. Total receipts was 10,515.87 cents. Total to be accounted for is 155,207 and 19 cents. Total disbursement 6,598.60 cents. Cash balance at the end of the month $148,680.59.
We'll take a motion to approve. Carolyn, seconded by Andy. Are you raising your hand?
Yeah.
All right. Andy, raise your head, raise your hand. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? That's actually what's great, so much. All right, treasurer's report.
Cash on hand at the beginning of the month for rack report $144,691.32. Total receipts $10,123.12. Total disbursement $6,205.85. Cash balance at the end of the month $148,608.59.
We will accept the motion to accept the report. Amber,
So moved.
second. Paulette, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. So the actual meeting. So we have a couple of new faces here. In some new faces I don't know yet. So Mary Ann, can you introduce yourself and let us know where you're at?
Sure, I'm Marian Montagazzi and I work in information systems. I replace Sharon Bauer.
Great. Welcome.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else? Heidi. Great. Welcome. All right. Thanks a lot. So in terms of the president's report, I want to apologize to everybody for not having been around the past couple of months. I've been running around North America chasing my oil companies, but stuff has been happening. We got our next round of New Horizon class is underway. I know that there's going to be paper copies of this floating around somewhere in the package. So we did a round of Outlook classes, and we have upcoming around of Excel classes, another round of Outlook classes. There is still room in this one. So, there's still room in Excel if anybody wants to take that. For those of you who are new, these are the classes that prepare you to pass the paper knowledge, the Microsoft Office paper knowledge tests in order to get 2% increase. If you've taken the classes and you haven't taken a test yet, or you have time to take the Excel class, I strongly encourage you to think about doing it now, so you can boost your salary for pension purposes before the change in the pension something to think about the back of your head. This is something that applies to people in job class 7 classification. Yeah.
I went to do my Excel class the other day and I didn't want to do the schedule and conflict. I couldn't do it, so I asked what the next line of trainings are. And Jen says, as of right now, they don't have anything scheduled because we don't have enough people signed up. So spread the word. We want to take these classes after this Excel. There's nothing because there's not enough people. I think it's fun. When is Excel? Excel starts on Saturday. And I had to drop out, so.
So we had to, I mean, as it was, we canceled around the work class because they're working on, I think only one person signed up for that and not, over to Outlook. If that's something we want to do, definitely talk to each other and talk with, whoever the next president is, about getting them scheduled. So what else is going on? So in our 2012 round of contract negotiations, we brought up the idea of creating some sort of childcare subsidy for young families. The international responded the way that the international office responded to the after repeated attempts during the term of our 2012 contract negotiations or contract, that committee never met. Then the international came to the table and proposed not to eliminate that committee, but to expand that committee to include, they had never met, to include childcare and healthcare. We pushed them in our last HR meeting to have that meeting in the discussion for this something that some people have been asking about. And the international responded by saying, oh, we don't think there are enough people who will be able to use a flex spending account to make it worthwhile. We did a poll, about 10% of our members would be able to take advantage of that. So we're forward on making that happen. A couple other things that are going to come up in different parts of the meeting, as you all probably know by now. Today is our local union nominations meeting. So between old business and new, or as I guess technically the first item of new business, we'll take nominations. Nominations could get submitted anytime up until now via email, or they can be submitted at the floor of the meeting. And then after we have nominations, and if people indicate whether they're accepting the nominations, RJ and the Public Committee will be working to conduct an election. We'll hear more from RJ about what their plans are for conducting that election a little bit later. We also have some guests here, and we're going to hear from them right after we have our nominations. Chris Ellis and Gabe Kramer are with SEIU, I'm along from the International with the Healthcare Local. And Chris is a member of the Fight Back Pittsburgh Executive Board, and also he's here today representing the Fight 15 campaign about food workers in the city fighting for $15 an hour a year. So we're going to hear about some major mobilizations they've got coming up a little bit later. So that's all that I have. Are there any questions for me about the stuff that's going on? All right, let's go on to the grievance committee report.
Okay,
Oh. Really normally get first. Okay. Oh, well, it's going to take me help. We have battery upstairs.
No, I didn't type up the report, and I apologize, but I wanted to report that we did have a meeting, Janice Hill and I attended with Bob Ruth and, Mary Weston about, our ADA compliance issues in the building. We had, somebody who does this kind of a meeting, and, it was a very fruitful meeting, I'll say that. Haven't yet gotten a report back from, the tour that they was taken of all the bathrooms in the building, but there is under construction, but as we speak, a bathroom on the lobby floor, and that will be fully ADA compliant. So hopefully that will solve a lot of the problems of our So I'll get back with you as soon as I get the report.
And I want to take a point of privilege to just point out how they got that meeting to happen. This is something that Janet and Stephanie and Diane Hemingway and others have been agitating about for a long time, the issue related to ADA compliance in the building. And the international kept sloughing us off and sloughing us off and sloughing us off. Then they found an ADA compliance expert from the city and invited him to come in, do a walk around about our compliance level. And believe it or not, immediately after the national found out about that, they decided they wanted to meet with us and bring in their own expert. I was shocked to see that they responded. So that was what did it feel?
Two things. First, social progressive or progressive success in general. My faculty took place Philly and We'll have a little Zoom meeting April 6th. That's when we'll decide what student areas I'm running to. Take a child what day is coming up right quick in April. We're during it. We have the t-shirts. 38 kids are coming. Really cool new t-shirts. Made by nice change. Okay.
How about rapid response?
Yeah, I apologize. But on Trans-Pacific Partnership, I know everybody was letters signed, and I believe, I think Mickey Bolt has gotten some more. How many did you get? About 50 or
I think about 50.
Okay, additional ones that went, there was like 100 weeks left in the first round, and then I think we got 50, 60 from Mickey, and then there's probably another 50. So it's like a total 200 that went down to DC. And just so you know, we're still wanting to collect. So if you have any friends or whatever, we gotta get as many as we can to draft a response on in DC when the we take it to the legislators. And there are more in, give them the rapid response and make them, they find out who your congressman is there. On there, so let them know. And if you're not familiar with the Trans-Pacific Partnership, I mean, it's in our USW break every time one comes out, it should be. So it's a trade deal that will just make Black NAFTA look like a laughing stock. I mean, you're talking about Pacific Rim country where it's over half of the population in the world. And all these corporations are going to do is use their people for labor to take our jobs. Very important.
Okay. Tax committee.
No report.
New member committee.
Just want to from the members committee, welcome to the members committee. I also want to welcome formally Bob to the new employees to our members committee. And I also want to raise again that we need more teachers because we keep on getting new members and we don't have teachers.
A motion to
All right.
All right. Bylaws committee, organizing committee. They actually just sent their report. We haven't read it yet. Sammy and Nate aren't able to be here, but the big thing that the organizing committee are working on is that mobilizing for the April 15th action, which we'll hear about later. So before the presentation, bylaws committee,
We haven't met since the last report.
civil rights committee.
Let's see. I was just asked to read our report or speak to it. So on March 15th, 13th, Doug Ward and Guillermo Perez, the co-chairs of the committee, met with Vice President Redmond and Vice President Landry to discuss the possibility of doing a joint diversity report similar to the one that we did last year, or the one that was published last year. And as you can see in the notes here, Vice President Redmond expressed that the International would not be interested in working jointly with the committee or with the committee on issuing a report if that report were to be published externally and also just even to the membership. So the committee discussed that the committee would move forward with producing a report in a similar fashion that we did last year, even if the International is not willing to work with us on this report, but that we would continue to move forward to produce a report. The other two things are going to be motions that will come up later, but they involve the May 15th, May 1st, which is similar to a rally we had last year, or was it the year before, 2 years ago, regarding immigrant rights. And then there's another motion that'll come up about showing a documentary and inviting a guest who is featured in the documentary with regards to Selma and the civil rights movement. It would be Mr. Al Lingo, who was a staff member of Dr. Martin Luther King's, to hear his take. Very interesting, compelling story. as he tells a story about what it was like to be a white person working with Dr. King and getting the different treatment from Black people who didn't trust him and white people who hated him. So we'll be making a motion on that as well.
Thanks, Walt. Fundraising and recreation.
Like Kim said, I'm in charge of Kids Day, and we'll be making a motion later for some money up to $250 to help with the crafts and that for Kids Day. But our theme this year is on the Union Bug, and teaching the kids what a Union Bug is. We have 37 kids coming in the building and 19 out in the field.
Let's raise more.
Fundraising? Oh, yeah. Then we, we did our bucket drop for the oil local, and we raised $1,304. Thanks.
All right, grievance committee. We have grievance.
The list of the grievances are in the back there. The latest one was a grievance that we filed on behalf of the local, the International failed to post a notice of availability for the recent position building account. So, that's it.
All right. Okay, we are on any committees we missed. All right. Old business.
All right, old business, Day of Solidarity with Boston Roads, March.
March. Yeah.
Stephanie emailed Chief Young, okay? International Advancing People That Have.
Andy, that's not good.
All right, the Next Generation Seminar, 5th through the 7th, we had nobody interested. The ACLC.
Wait. Hang on. So the Next Generation Seminar is it's in May. The deadline is on April 2nd, and I want to kind of point out that the deadline for RSVP is on April 2nd. And we use these deadlines as a way to we sent like I think I sent an email 40 people with lost time expenses and various things. The numbers are really close to like 60 or 70 last year. A lot of people are going a lot of different places, and the only way that we can track that the next administration can track who's going where is if we use those deadlines as a way to figure out when we need to close things out and make the reservations. And when we miss the deadlines or get kind of flexible or lax with that, we end up sending people. We end up getting late on our lost time requests. We end up getting late on registration. We end up with all sorts of confusion about who's going where. So if you want to go to that, it would be great if somebody went to that. Please email us by April 2nd.
No, the deadline was.
No, deadline is next year. Oh, all right, deadline passed. Never mind.
All right, the ACLC 26th annual banquet dinner, there was a motion to send up to 5 delegates from the ACLC committee. We didn't have anybody from the committee that wanted to go. We have 2 fight baskets for people, Sandy Day, Nate Colbert, that will be attending. Food International Executive Board meeting for 8 to 11. There was a motion to email me by 3:13. Elizabeth Lowe is attending, and you want to.
All right, we're on to new business. All right, nominations. Okay, so this is our nominations meeting. Nominations were could be submitted. Did everyone? All right. Nominations could have been submitted online any day up until today, today's meeting, or made on the floor of this meeting. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the nominations we've received so far, and we'll ask for nominations from the floor of the meeting. And then after we've had all of our nominations, RJ will tell us how we're going to handle this question. So we'll start from the,
All right, so let's District 1 Field Steward. We have nominations, 2 nominations for Liz Shelton. District.
Are there any other nominations for Field Steward for District 1? Okay. Yeah.
District 2, Jenny Van Schimel, nominated by Elizabeth Lowe.
Are there any other nominations?
District 4, Val Thomas has one nomination.
Are there any nominations for District 4 sewer?
District 7, Terry Luna has 2 nominations.
Are there any other nominations?
District 8, Denise Smith has 1 nomination.
Are there any other nominations?
District 9, Kate Sight has 1 nomination.
Are there any other nominations for District 9?
District 10, Glasgow has 2 nominations.
Are there any other nominations? All right,
Okay, District 11, Terry Olson has a nomination. And Denise Keller has a nomination.
nominate each other. Are there any other nominations? Okay,
No nominations for District 12 and District
Wait.
13.
do you want to throw somebody on the bus, like 12? Yeah.
I can't think of that.
Well, we do this with God. They're dramatic in the staff, I think.
All right, District 13, Yesenia has received 4 nominations.
Any other nominations for District 2? All right. All right, let's try to find, yeah, let's do it. I'll take it.
All right, outside guard, Elizabeth Lowe received 1 nomination.
Any other nominations for outside guard? All right,
Inside guard, Rachel Serban received 6 nominations. And Brittany Murray received 1 nomination.
are there any other nominations? For inside guard? All right,
Guy K. Sykes received 1 nomination.
are there any other nominations for that?
All right, trustee Jennifer Schindel received 4 nominations. Bart Pugliese received 2 nominations. Carol Dunn received 1 nomination, and Denise Keller received 2 nominations.
We elect three trustees. Are there any other nominations? All right,
All right, grievance committee, Jenny Van Schindel received 3 nominations. Chris Taylor received 1 nomination. Josh Pearson received 1 nomination. Sam Delbiaco received 1 nomination. Glasgow received 1 nomination, and Doug Ward received 1 nomination.
to be clear, we elect two grievers from the field and 3 from headquarters. Are there any additional nominations?
I'd like to nominate Eric Russell.
Are there any other nominations? All right,
All right, treasurer Steffi Dolmike received 2 nominations.
are there any other nominations? All right,
Financial secretary Josh Pearson received 2 nominations.
any other nominations?
All right, recording secretary Lisa Dunn received 2 nominations.
Are there any other nominations? All right,
Vice President Jenny Van Schindel received 4 nominations. Patrick Young received 1 nomination. Jamal Craig received 2 nominations.
are there any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Jamal. Again,
All right, President?
Tom Leslie received 7 nominations.
Anyone want to throw anybody else under the bus? Are there any other nominations for any office? Are there any other nominations? All right. RJ, how are we gonna do this?
Okay, so first of all, those who are nominated are going to have to accept their nominations in writing. So I will email all of the nominees, and they will need to respond to me in order to be considered on the ballot. As far as how we conduct the election, there's an online company
called Vote Met, which kind of explained a little bit in the president's report, which was recommended to us, I guess, when we were going to do the contract vote last year. It didn't, timing and other issues didn't allow us to use it that time, but I think this time it makes sense to use it for our election. They conducted union elections all over the country. The Department of Labor has been in their offices and reviewed their processes. They use bank level encryption technology, so there's no question that the election would be secure and probably a lot more convenient for people than the ones we've been doing. I question. Yeah.
There's a horde of people out there trying to read the 3657 election.
No, but
Is he adding candidates where we don't have them or something?
it's a time-consuming process and a very paper-intensive process, and this would basically eliminate all of that.
Here's my question.
So I think it makes sense to conduct the election this way. I talked over with the rest of the college committee and they had agreed. If anybody has any specific questions, I know basically how the process works. The company would take our employee list, contact everybody on the eligible voting list via email. If they don't receive a response to email, they would then mail you a postcard to your last name and address. If they don't receive a response to that, they would alert us and we would reach out to you to make sure that you had a chance to vote. Everybody would get a unique user ID that only they would know. They would only be allowed to use it once. And then there would be a specific date by which everybody would have to vote. There would be a paper trail. I don't know. Does anybody have any questions as to how the process would work?
Can I just add a little bit of additional background? So we have now we're down to one member in Canada, and the fact that we had a member in Canada in previous elections is basically made the process of holding an election a month-long process because we have to give it 2 weeks to get into Canada for customs and then 2 weeks to get back for customs. So this essentially cuts that time in half, so we're able to have an election much more quickly. SRU uses this program, and they like it. The International suggested we use this for our last contract because our last contract was probably a little more controversial than this election. We decided not to be a good opportunity to change what we're doing, but the college committee gives us the time to move into the 21st century and learn how to use data.
So if you go on your work computer, that's part of, their election and
Nobody will know how to do it. You'll have a randomly generated user ID that will not be connected to your name, but the company is the only, will be the only people who know what user ID is connected to what name, and that's all encrypted. So there would be no way for anybody to find out how you vote.
Just
What is the cost of this?
I don't know the exact cost.
I mean, it's a great idea, but I just was wondering about.
I still have to hear back from the company to know for sure because it's going to depend on how many contested elections we have and how many actual eligible voters we have. So I don't have a specific answer to that. I can tell you that the last time we did this, we had 4 fellow community members who spent several hours on it, and not to mention the cost and the time that all ballot boxes review all of those and they come back in. So I don't know. I don't have a specific answer to that question yet.
So in just kind of as a point of information, when we have when the college committee stuffs the envelopes and sends them out in the council, it'll be a lost time for at least a day for the entire college committee. So saving that is going to more than underwrite the cost, and we do not believe, although a motion could be in order, we do not believe that we need a motion in order to hold, pay for holding the election.
That, the initial expense is greater than what the expense would be in the future, because as a new customer, we have to set everything up, off the bat. But then down the road, if we are to conduct further elections and further conduct votes using the same system, it would be less expensive than the initial cost.
Josh?
Just from a logistical standpoint, will we be using the work emails because the new spam filter stuff? I don't know what list we're going to use or provide to them, but I, as well as many others, haven't received any of the stuff that you've sent out, and I've looked, and it's in the ether.
Yeah, I don't know whether we would be able to use the international email list. Maybe that would make more sense. But if you didn't respond to the initial email from the company, they would contact you immediately with a postcard. And then if you didn't respond back, then they would contact us and let us know that they hadn't heard from you. So there are
Fail-safe
to make sure that everybody hears from them.
Sure.
What time constraints on it?
We can set up whatever time
No, I
we
mean,
want.
when do you have to have things list for them, or even if they need email addresses and then
Yeah.
physical addresses, correct? Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so
They're gonna mail
as soon as possible. we can get them.
Yeah, I mean, so the company needs to know first how many, if any, contested elections we had, so we can move forward with the process until we actually had enough list.
I just want to commend the local on that. We're the headquarters local. We ought to be out ahead, whether it's look at the cost or not. I think it's important to push it. And when you look at the recent elections, I think membership participation is really good. So if this can be something that helps us show that it can be better,
I also just want to say that if somebody's got, travel, that it's a lot easier to people who travel. It's a lot easier for them, hopefully, as I said, it's more efficient.
I got a question, Patrick, for RJ, and the board. When someone has been nominated and you send out an email, do they have to respond that they do accept it, or they respond that they do not?
They have to respond that they accept it.
Because I have a feeling a lot of times you'll hear the plan, you gotta come up and tell them you don't want to work.
Well, the way I did it the last time was emailed everybody who was nominated, and if I didn't hear back from them, I just called them on the phone and said, "Can you email me if you want to do this?" Someone did something.
I was just concerned because you've heard people talk that there's a little problem with email. Someone does slide through the cracks, but you'll watch.
Yeah, I just, I go through the list one by one and contact them by phone if I don't.
All right. Any last burning questions? I know that we've been talking about this for a while, and we got a bunch of stuff to get to. RJ and Carlos will be available after the as well. Okay. So the last burning question from the floor. We'll move on to our first real item of new business, not second new business, and that's our guest, Chris Ellis, from about 50 campaign, who's also associate member and a member of the executive board, and Dave Kramer, with some updates about some exciting stuff that's going on. How about it, guys?
Thank you for the invitation, the opportunity. Appreciate the chance to sit actually part of the local meeting. Some of it is things we have to do to run any union, but it's somehow the quotidian nature, people working together, the basic different kind of things. It lifts my heart because there's so many people who are struggling to have that very basic right to decide how to have a ballot. Here in Pittsburgh, more broadly, obviously we encourage it. I think what we'll do is talk a little bit about what's going on in the organizing for the fight for 15. Chris can speak to that, and I'll follow up with some details. While Chris is talking, I'm going to pass around leaflets. Which ones can take copies of to share with colleagues. So there are some jobs for the paper sector generated. They were printed in-house with donated labor, so not so much for the printing sector. But if there is an interest in larger quantities,
I've been a part of Fight 15 for about a year. I first joined the union Fight at December 5th, 2013. I was a confident worker at the time. We organized my co-workers on that day. Operation for everybody there was just masters, and everybody else from the store was distracted. So, check it out. I'm gonna keep it short and take the positive and negative. Positives that have gone on is 28 days have successfully raised the money. I should say 29 because Oakland, California is right there. I think it's 12, I think, I'm not pretty sure. And just with me, like, being a part of it, I've seen a lot of community causes, people winning big, not just fast food, but with Walmart workers got their agreement to start paying the workers $9 an hour and 15 going to Target actually just proposed to pay the workers the same treatment as Walmart. Walmart Target was viable, so they hopped on board and said they're going to pay their workers $9 an hour and Walmart. Some of the, I guess some of the negative stuff going on, some of my coworkers, or some of the people, I should say some of our coworkers have been retaliated by bosses. The main one was a coworker of mine was part of the fight. She worked at Wendy's. The boss assaulted her by I guess the boss and her were having an argument, and she was going to back to call corporate, and the boss took the phone out of her hand and slammed the phone in her hand. So with her being a part of the movement, and Shauna, she used to work there. She's strong with it. We on that day, she went and got an organized petition to get that boss fired. And then on that day, we did an action at the store with community allies on that day, and we took pictures of her hand and the petition and corporate. And we, not too long ago, corporate and capacity fired that boss for assaulting at work. Other things that we have been doing is basically we've been having other unions and local adopting our stores around the area. You know, like you go to Oakland, so whatever food chain there, we would some of the allies that suggested doing their own action, signing going in, signing up workers, letting you know the whole mobilization of fast food campaigns going on. Fast food workers have been standing with security workers, UPMC, adjunct teachers, airport workers, home health care workers,
And with me being a part of the movement, I see like me going out there and supporting everybody. I actually see why everybody's fighting. Everybody's fighting for one, respect, one, dignity, one, for better pay, one, for the right to organize and form a union. And the fact that like some of the bosses have been, okay with us, that everybody doing it, then backing away, some from having. And some of the people, the bosses that they haven't really pushed back away, that people are still, doing their fight, successfully, still strong against the community. And then us, we have, well, everybody, I can't really say us, but everybody who's been supporting this fight, the team, other campaigns, so we have a big national, I guess it's strike, I'll call it a strike, or big event, where all unions and like everybody who's in part of the union are going to go express their rights on 14, letting their bosses and companies know that we need respect, dignity, we deserve better pay than what you're paying. The right to organize, the right to form a union, the right to no retaliation being involved with it. It's the right thing to get everybody out of part of it because, like the Reverend, we had a meeting yesterday, the Reverend said that nobody wakes up to live in poverty. And I agree with him. Nobody, you don't wake up and say, oh, poverty. And I was telling people that I was raising their spirits about, forming a union or action. I said, the minimum wage has been raised without. They say in the state of PA, if you're single, without no gain, without any government assistance, so you could be making $17.21. Well, $17.21 an hour. And they said that if the minimum wage kept up with everything that's going up, everybody in the world would be making $5 an hour. And I think if that's so true, then what's holding, that the government rents is still going up, everything's still going up like so I think that day of April 15th, with everybody coming out supporting us, and if you really do truly believe that you're worth more than what you're making, April 15th is the day you go out and say.
Most of my work for 3 years and more now is hospital with the DPMC. Many people around the table here have been part of that struggle in lots of different ways. When fast food workers started organizing, fast food workers, hospital workers started talking and going to rallies and things together, that it was striking how much people had in common. And very same conversations we had with Cadre, United Stewart, Casino work, security officers. In just one meeting recognition at the downtown Belgium, that in so many of these kinds of work, expectations are so low for what people will take home. When we were preparing to tell our story as a hospital workers campaign, the UPMC is the biggest employer in the region. We wanted to try to come up with a comparison and think about what's happened in the community. So we looked at the 1968 Basic Steel contract, and we looked at the lowest pay rate in that contract for someone just starting out. And adjusted for inflation, a worker starting at the mill paid $17.75. And of course, steel was the biggest employer in Pittsburgh, right? Now, in 1968, America had a lot of problems. Everything wasn't perfect. But you could take care of a family, you could get started in life on $17.75, right? And yet, UPMC workers making $12 an hour, fast food workers making between $7 and $8 an hour. There's no way to get ahead. There's no way to have a future. The problem is that expectations have become so low. And so I think what
hospital workers started commonly with the fast food workers struggle with an audacious and challenging campaign that they've taken on to take on some of the biggest companies in the world, not just in Pennsylvania. Is to say we have to raise our expectations, figure out how to beat companies, help workers organize, but also to try and create a movement that is lifting up what we're asking for. So even companies that haven't organized yet, like the Walmart, like the Target, said, well, maybe you better figure out a way to start doing better. And so that's why on the 15th of April, hospital workers are coming together with the fast food workers, coming together with the security officers and other groups of workers who can organize to support the fast food workers strike, which is starting that morning, but also to make loud public demands on all the employers in the region. Everyone ought to have the right to form unions and know how to make less security costs smart. The big rally was planned for that day is at 4 p.m. in Oakland. But we're talking to some of our sisters and brothers in the labor movement who, for example, the state employees who are part of SEIU who work downtown, APU members who have their break in the middle of the day because they got to work the morning and evening rush hour. And they said, we would like to do something around the middle of the day. So there's a secondary, the starter action for the day is at 12:15 at Market Square, which turned out to be not that far from the building. So although, of course, we're encouraging everyone to come together with worker activists and students from community organizers in the afternoon in Oakland, anyone who has a lunch break and happens to be in the building and happens to be near Market, come on down and join in action then too, right? And it just so happens that Chris's sandwich is also nearby Market Square. So there's a certain confluence of geography and time that might work well for some of your members. We'll leave this and we can get an electronic copy to the leadership of the local. Of course, we'll be reaching out and engaging with Bob Hack and others in the leadership structure of the international. Time and again, the way that much of our organizing has happened has actually been member to member, and starting with this conversation here with this local, lets me think that we're actually really on track for a really great day of mobilization. We hope you can be there and look forward to working together.
Any questions?
I was organizing right now at Central PA, and back here with that, they were saying, hey, Walmart's gonna be making 15, why can't wait? So I think this movement is really reverberating all around the country. Workers see themselves as being employed and see themselves as part of a class in a way that we haven't seen in decades in this country, and I think that it's really important. I applaud you for organizing it and we'll be there. I think we'll be there. Well, good.
So along that line, the E-board was having a conversation about the fact you guys are coming and we really made plans about what we're going to do, but we want to make sure that we're there and that 3657 is there for us. And I hope that everybody agrees. And so we wanted to recommend a motion for $500 to figure out, and who knows what we're going to do with it if we buy bus fare for everybody to hop on the 61 and 71 to get up there. And if we can get everybody out of John Ray House, Gulag, at 3:30 to get up there, and then buy everybody a slice of pizza or something like that. Because it's going to be the dinner hour, but figure out some way to support 3657 numbers going out to mobilize. So our recommendation is allocating $500 to that effort. The motion would be in order. So moved. Is there a second? Amy. Okay, any discussion? Anybody want to be on a team to figure out what the hell we're going to do? Jackie? Brittany? All right.
Jamal.
Jamal? Okay. Can I hear a fucking room? Jackie, your charge. Yes. All right. Anything else on this? Okay, we got a shitload of other stuff to talk about.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, let's go through these.
All right, USW District 10, free ticket, Stony Park, June 20th, year 2105.
Really getting good at these early notices.
Tickets are $41. You can only get your tickets by mail, so I'm gonna post this on the website, and if you want information about it, just come see me.
I just have one question. Where is the park?
Stony Park is in Allentown, about 4 hours drive.
Okay.
All right.
Next is Paul Davis Hill Summer Labor Institute, East Rockford University, 6, 7, 12. Registration is $300 including the deadline is May 15th.
Our recommendation is that because we're having local union elections, we'll probably have some people stepping up. Who might need to build some skills. We are recommending that any members of the incoming executive board of grievance committee go to that law time. Have the opportunity to go to that law time. Right? For a second. Julie, any discussion?
I can talk about it. This is a District 10 training that I've participated in as a facilitator, and it's a great collection of rank and file members of District 10, and I think it's pretty good training. We've had some good responses to it in the past, and I would really love it if quite solid.
You can want to.
Yeah, but it's safe.
You want to do anything else, me? Oh, no.
We're just gonna let that, we're gonna let that flow. I'll let Leslie deal with how to handle it.
I was just gonna recommend we table that and move it to the, so that it'll still be on the agenda.
It'll be in there, on old business, until it happens.
Okay, District 10 Rapid Response Coordinators Training, 6/23 through 25th, Atlantic City, rooms are 69, registration room is 25.
We could vote on that last night.
Did we vote on it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, then you wanna, are you moving to table that, or do you want to take a vote?
We can vote if you're gonna leave it on.
Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? You wanna go to-
All right, District 10 Rapid Response Coordinator Training, 6/23 through 25th, Atlantic City, room 69, room for registration room 25.
Because it's down the road, we recommend no action at this time.
Only thing I got to say about that, make sure somebody knows, I really think somebody else should step up and
Noted.
All right, Philip Bosch Workers Memorial Day, 4/24 in Philadelphia, PA, $60 per person, $600.
We somehow ended up on the Philadelphia Project on Occupational Health and Safety mailing list. They ask us for stuff all the time. Here in Philadelphia, we donate to our Memorial Day.
All right, District 10 Civil Rights Seminar, Linden Hall, 6/28 through 7, registration is 500, deadline 5/27. Email from Rachel Service.
We recommend that be refers to that be referred to the Civil Rights Committee for discussion and deliberation, probably deliberation. Any discussion about that? The call letter actually it goes out like tomorrow. Jumping the gun a little bit here. But can the Civil Rights Committee take that up and figure out what we want to do that? All right.
All right, Labor Law and Labor Art Conference, 7/14 through 14, 15, Baltimore, Maryland, registration 500.
We recommend no action.
All right, so let's motion.
Okay, so we'll start with the,
Yeah, we'd like to make a motion to $250 to use for supplies for the class.
second. Any discussion? Great. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You never forget. Take it on.
to
Up to $500.
Other than
What is this, an auction?
Okay, so the,
And the new board comes in and they get new
Everybody's counting on the new board to fix everything.
For how much?
it's been moved, is there a second? $1,000 for church, so the discussion is maybe to defer that, is that a motion to table or?
Well, I'm just saying that when the board comes in, then we order for everybody. So we have that.
But are you moving?
The men's are all 3X, and the women's, I think I have 2X. So mine already.
Okay.
But I got the 2P ones.
Now we're done 5. All right, the motion is on the floor. For discussion, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Question.
Aye.
How many t-shirts does $1,000 buy?
It all depends on what the vendor would get on first, what style, sort of, the colors, and don't, it all.
Carolyn, you're just talking about the same shirt we already have.
I'm talking about
The same black shirt with the yellow logo, just ordering like that.
Which people seem to like.
They're very stylish and comfortable.
So we got a bunch of hiring letters coming in. We have new members. We don't have t-shirts for them. So if somebody wants to make a motion to table, that would be in order. Otherwise, there's a motion on the floor that you're saying moved and seconded. We've had discussion. I'll call the question. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Civil rights committee.
I'd like to make a motion that $500 be contributed to the Pittsburgh Law Club as a contribution toward the cost of organizing a public march in support of immigrant rights as a part of a community-wide celebration on International Workers' Day, which is Friday, May 1st.
Any discussion? Oh, second? All right, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Second motion, Civil Rights Committee would like to ask Local 3057 to contribute $500 to the cost of hosting a viewing of Leaving Selma, a documentary on the historic Selma to Montgomery March voting rights produced by Andrew Young, which will feature a discussion being led by Mr. Al Lingo, a staff member of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, who was prominently featured in the documentary. $500 would be to help cover the cost of travel and lodging for Mr. Lingo.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Very good.
I'd like to make a motion that the local 3657 support the Workers Memorial Day Committee again this year by purchasing the wreath to be used in both ceremonies for the day, which is April 28th, and as always. And then also buy a full-page ad in the book that's printed up for the Labor Council.
We have a dollar amount.
I think the ad is $150 for the full-page ad, and then the wreath, I think you guys set it at $100 in the past. That'd be fine again.
So $250.
Yeah,
$250. Is there a second? Any discussion? I have one point of discussion, and that's can you follow up with us about about making sure the ad gets submitted and that the flowers actually get ordered?
Mhm.
we're happy to pay for them, but if we can do, I can order them.
Okay,
I
I'll follow up
usually
on.
request, and Diane has not, I request her to do the ad, but then she, from that point on, she's supposed to forward it to you guys. You
Yeah.
know, there's cuts and checks, but everything else, neither of mine, neither of us do.
Okay,
I mean, we don't order it for anything.
we'll get it ordered and everything, okay?
One year we forgot to.
Yeah, it did fall through the cracks.
RJ?
Oh, I just wanted to ask again, what's the date I insert from?
April 28th.
April 28th. Okay.
Any other discussion? Oh,
Oh, not on this, sorry.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any other new business?
I don't have the precise dates, but the YFCWA hosts an annual day against racism. Excuse me. Against an annual day against racism. It's over the course of 3 days, and I wanted to make a motion that the local support this day by declaring that we support the stand against racism.
There's a motion on the floor that to declare that we stand against racism. Is there a second to that? Janet? Is there any discussion on whether or not we stand against racism? Better not be.
Just to clarify another thing, there are bracelets that go, so to show our solidarity with these organizations and our stand against racism, we will be passing out bracelets to everyone who is interested on the particular day that we choose out of those 3 days to wear.
Awesome.
Is there a cost associated?
No cost.
No cost at this point.
Right. You like free stuff?
What organization is sponsoring this?
The YWCA.
All right. All those in favor of standing against racism and wearing bracelets?
Aye.
Any opposed to standing against racism and wearing bracelets? Motion carried. Any other new business? Room's thinning out. There's an opportunity to propose all this creative. Good and welfare. No, that's out of order. Good and welfare. Oh.
One quick thing about the Fight for 15. Everybody should be aware and should call their senators. There is a bill, SB 333, that is a so-called preemption bill, but the better word to use and the proper language to use is a local interference bill. And what they're doing is they're trying to get rid of paid sick days. However, in other states, when they have raised the minimum wage on a city-by-city basis, they have used these laws and amended these laws to fight against minimum wage as well. And they're also using to get to fight against fracking. So I just wanted to pass this on. The Senate will be, the state Senate will be back in session on the April 13th. So please call your senator and ask them, and I will get you talking points and everything if anybody wants it.
All right. Any other good and welfare? All right. We'll take a motion to adjourn. Julie, second. Carol. Any discussion?
Don't we have to, wait a minute, don't we have to make a motion to pay all bills?
Okay. The point of order is taken. Motion to pay all bills.
I motion.
Second, Josh. In favor of paying our bills?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adjourn. Now. Second. Somebody else. Get the hell out of here. Thank you.